Welcome, everyone. It's WSA TV, the women's premiere show, and I am Laura Rubenstein here with the founder of Women Speakers Association, Gail Watson. Hi, Gail.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Many people don't know what sets Women Speakers Association apart as a premier venue for amplifying messages and providing platforms to get their message out. And I know we have so many different ways to do that, and hopefully people will check us out, especially after listening to you today. But one of the most accessible platforms you can use to make a difference and realize your dreams is what we're going to talk about today. And that is being an author, writing a book. And we do collaborative books here. So I wanted to know from you, Gail, what inspired you to put together the opportunity for our members to start doing collaborative books?
Well, it was quite a simple reason. I was sitting doing homework with my son one day. We were researching women of the early 1900s, and while we found some good research on women and what they did, we never got the opportunity to get to know them. And it was on one of my early morning walks with a neighbor that I said, you know what? There, we've got to get to know these women, especially of today, because you know what, we're amazing. And I talk to women every single day from all over the world, and I hear the most extraordinary stories. They're all different, uh, and just women doing just they're running households, they're running families, they're elder care, they're child care, they're running business, they're corporate executives. I mean, just a multifaceted, beautiful piece. And I think I wanted, when I take a look at these times, the 21st century, I just have this visual of generations ahead needing to research us, the roaring 20s now, right, of the 2000s. And I didn't want them to just see what we did. I wanted them to know, who we were or who we are.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a real passion to bring more people's light into the world. And these books that we've come out with, we want to show them, there's three of them, right?
Oh, yeah, we have three.
Yeah.
Going on four.
Going on for Voices of the 21st Century. I love it. And so, these books are compilations of stories, but they're not your typical anthologies, right? What's the difference? Because we have such a different paradigm here. What is the difference between a collaborative book that those are and, a typical anthology?
Right. So the word collaboration was key in this whole process. So that's who we are at Women Speakers Association. We're a collaborative community. And what that means is we share in everything. So in this book, we are sharing in the expenses, we are in the production of that book, and we're sharing in the marketing of that book. Most importantly, though, this book is designed to really be a spokesperson for you, a marketing piece for you. So it became very, very important that you were front and center a part of this book. So each one of our contributing authors are a co-author, and their name goes on the front cover. Their picture and bio goes on the back cover, and only their name goes on the spine. So that way, when it sits on a bookshelf, you're seeing Voices of the 21st Century and your name. This becomes really important because as you're standing in front of groups of people or sharing your book that you've shared your message in, it becomes really important to stand up and say, I've co-authored this book, right? I'm co-author in Voices of the 21st Century. So that's what we're talking about when we say it's a collaborative book. We are sharing in it all, that you are a big, big piece of it.
And I love that we have that ability to create these customized covers that really feature the authors. And, a lot of people are looking into how can I get my book? And they just like see it as this enormous project. right? It's a daunting project. I wrote a book of my own, and it took like me kicking myself in the pants big time to get it out, and then I needed a lot of help, and then it was a lot of work, and it all turned out okay, but I have a little bit of an advantage because I'm good at writing and I'm good at marketing and all that, but most people aren't. So how do people even need to be good at writing to even join this and make it?
Absolutely not. You just have to be somebody with a dream, with a message, because we have a full professional publishing team that you're working with. So we have an amazing copy editor. Her job is to make you look good. So I am not a writer. I write often just in statements, and what she can do with it is just pull it all together and make it really amazing. But she has a special talent. She keeps you in your voice, because that's what's really important here. This book isn't about you being a professional writer or having the perfect story that has to. This is simply about sharing your voice, and that's a big part, because when we think of it, and that's exactly another reason for this book, is to give platform to us everyday voices. When we think it's easy for a celebrity to get their message out, and they're the ones who should be writing the book because they have the big stories and they have the and we think about our own personal lives. Well, what does my story matter, right? But it's a piece in you. That's what this book is about. It is about sharing the perfectly imperfect stories within us, and it is not about anything dramatic. It is not anything about or traumatic. This is simply about what is that gift inside? What is that voice inside you? What needs to come out? So that's what Voices of the 21st Century is. It's about just revealing you.
I love that it is, and we make it so accessible, like I said at the beginning. And so, if you have any fear around bringing out your message, but you do have that dream of making an impact, or at least putting your toe in the water to start that ripple effect, even if it's a little ripple, we'll actually make it a little bit bigger of a ripple, and we'll handhold you. I personally will handhold you
Yeah.
through this process, as a matter of fact, because I am so aligned with this idea of helping people bring their messages out and then giving them that platform to thrive. And what have you seen, speaking of authors thriving and authors' dreams come true, throughout these? We have 3 books, we have what, 100 authors or more that have joined us so far. What have you seen come true?
So many stories. Actually, just a couple of weeks ago, we shared in a Facebook Live where we interviewed some of the authors, and they shared their personal experience. And wow, but one of the biggest things that I see, which is the most beautiful, is the transformation. I'm talking to the authors day one. And first of all, I have to point out that Laura Rubenstein here is our project manager. She is the handhold as you're walking through that experience. So is Laura. But as I was saying, is when we're first vetting the stories coming in, where there is a lot of fear. I'm meeting a lot of ladies where there's hesitancy because the voices inside us are saying you're not good enough, or I don't know if I can do this, or who wants to hear my story. And this is why this process, when you collaborate with one another, a big part of the collaboration is building the community of support, so that you're not alone, and that we have people in place that can also support you through. So we set up all sorts of things, like from writing buddies, or if we need to do some one-on-one. I promise you, as you feel that fear, we go through it together. And the biggest thing that I see come through is when we're launching and I'm speaking to an author afterwards, and the transformation that comes through in them, that I did it, this confidence build. As one of our authors in our most recent book said, it has opened doors I didn't even know were there. And we launched during a pandemic, right, in the heart of lockdowns all over the world. And our authors were out there. They were doing virtual book tours. They were doing virtual signings. They were gathering in socially distanced backyards at book clubs and just experiencing this joy. And that's what I really love, is witnessing that transformation. And it's very moving. It's very powerful. And quite often I get afterwards is, thank you for pushing me. Thank you for believing in me that I could do this. And let me assure anybody who's listening right now, it's while we believe in you, it's more than that. There's a team to support you. And that's the biggest difference. You're not alone in this. We are all together on the bus, and we cross the finish line together.
And what I love about the books is not only do we have newbie authors who don't know what they're doing, who have tons of self-doubt, that we handhold through this process, that transform, like you said, but we also have seasoned authors who have their own books, who
Yeah.
have been in other kinds of books like anthologies. They are drawn to the collaborative books because, well, first of all, if you have another book coming out, what better way to have 50 other authors promoting your forthcoming book through a chapter in this book, right? It's a great marketing tool. It's a great venue to connect with another community, can help grow your visibility. It's like fueling the flame of your existing visibility. That's one of the things I love about it, and we hardly talk about it. And
Yeah, well, the reach was massive. And
yeah,
we go around and we hit every book we've had, we hit, #1 in multiple categories in different countries. And it's fascinating. I mean, if you're looking for a way to break through the noise and overnight be around the world, this is it. This is the fast track to do that for sure.
and then you mentioned something that we put in the book in our latest edition and will continue to do, but it is for book clubs. We have a discussion topic, page about, the questions you can ask and start conversations with people. So this is really about deepening connections and bringing this to book clubs, and that's a whole marketing strategy in itself, right? So was it book conversation, book club conversation starters? I just think that was just a brilliant way for us to bring this out for you to make more of this book. Now, I do have another question. And when is the mission? Like, there's some underlying place we've come from, right? What is the mission of WSA Publishing?
Well, when we were putting this together in a conversation, it was the mission. It was quite simple, and it was simply, no woman should die with her story in her. And because it's that vehicle to simply just transport your message to the world. And this mission has demonstrated itself. Actually, in our last 2 books, we've had an author pass in our last one and the one prior to. And it passed before they even had a chance to hold the book in their hands. But they went through the process of, sharing their story, writing their story, being part of the training and excitement to get it out. And while they never saw that held that end piece, the beautiful part of that is that their story, their message, was able to be shared with their family right away. And also, their message lives on. And having had personal conversations, and I know you have too, Laura, I mean, you've got to know them really well, both ladies, that they're so passionate about their message. And it's such a privilege to know that their message is still being shared. There's 49 other women, they're co-authors, who are holding their torch and sharing that book, and along in that book goes their heart and their voice. So that's what it's about. I mean, legacy, their story lives on, and it's still making a difference. So
Yes, I'll tell you my story with the last book and the author who passed away, who's in here, and I'll invite you to read the book so you can See, and like you said, I knew her, and I had conversations with her throughout the years of her being a member here at WSA, and I read her story after she passed, and I felt so much more connected to her. So it's a healing tool. It's like imagine if you were to pass and you had given these books to your family members or friends or colleagues or even clients, and they had this, you will be comforting them in a time of need. I've sat down to just when I was in some sort of a mood, and we're in all kinds of moods these days, aren't we? To read some of these books, and it totally changed my perspective. It totally changed. I was a different person after I read the stories, and that is not necessarily because any of these women are great writers. They just have a story, and our editor brought it out, was able to,
Mhm.
they got the idea down, and it's their story for sure, but they were able to, we were able to, as a publishing organization, just make it refine, make it you shine, right? So if
Yeah.
you want to shine, if you want to realize those dreams, I mean, if you have a vision, you want to make a positive impact in the world, why not share a story?
Mhm.
Stories sell. It's the hottest thing in marketing now. Story selling.
And they live on forever. Your
Yes.
your message is alive forever. And for those generations that are ahead of us that will be looking back to read about us, it's your story that they'll see. And that's why your message matters, right? I saw this, I was scrolling through my Instagram this morning and I saw this really cool picture, a meme, where it was these people jumping into planet Earth saying the Earth needs you now, right?
Right.
And and as we take a look at our world today, our world needs you now. And this book coming up, it carries the theme of resilience and rising. We and in your story, we are resilient. You have gone through things. You've just come. You're in a pandemic. How are you operating in there? What are you changing? What gifts have you picked up? What's happened in your life? We're seeing the power of voices rise to make difference, to create change on uh, with the globe on a wide variety of subjects. So this is what it's about. We are here. It's today. It's not tomorrow. It's today that we need to get our message out, to challenge the status quo, to stir up dialogue on different topics, to maybe even feel uncomfortable. And for that to happen, we need you to really find and own your voice. So if there's just even a flicker, just that little tiny voice inside of you that is, it's just your message and you want to know how to get it out, that's the first step, is just simply feeling that. The rest, we help you. This is an experience that you're guided through step by step by step, uh, with many by your side and a professional team also holding your hand just to make sure everything is just perfect for you. So I'm looking for some more stories. We are actually looking for 18 more stories. That's it. That's it.
We're
So
filling up. We're filling up. It's
we are
great.
filling up, and every single conversation I have had, I I get off the call and I'm just so excited. I'm enthusiastic. There's just a joy bubbling up in me because I feel there's hope, because I'm listening to all these different kinds of stories and I go, yes, like there's hope. You're seeing this lightness that is coming through, to really help people make a difference in the lives of others. So I'm very, very excited
We
to
even have some of our
share these
authors
stories.
here sharing their comments about the process. Love the power of being an author and voices, and she's looking forward to the next one. This is Deb, and she loves the questions, and we've got the yes. We're quoting here. You're being quoted here by your organization. So um, yes, we have this, and we have this opportunity to make it so easy. And one of the things we didn't talk about is how much does it cost, and we're not going to get into details on that, but I will tell you that it's almost laughable, because to put together your own book is tens of thousands of dollars. And
Yeah,
this is not going to cost that, but you're going to get the value of that and more, plus marketing
yeah,
included. So it's like a no brainer. Hi, Marisol. No brainer. We can't wait to feature you, to make your light shine, to help you make a difference. Now, here's the thing: women's voices are needed more than anything in this world today. We are the heart and conscience of the world. We are the passion and the change makers. Make no mistake about it. If you have doubt, it's time to shed that. We will help you do that very easily, very naturally, and help not only transform your life, your loved ones' lives, but who knows? This will have a huge ripple effect to realize your dreams and beyond.
well said, Laura. I love that.
I am
That was
so passionate. I'm just as passionate as you are, if not, you know, I know your passion is so immense, it drew me in. So I want to acknowledge you for setting the stage, for lighting the way, for providing the platform to acknowledge and um, to be able to shine like this. So that link below, voicesofthe21stcentury.com, that's your opportunity, people, to talk with Gail.
right.
So
So,
even, yeah.
in that process, can I just say in the process, when you go to that link, you'll see some information on what it's all about. You'll see everything that it includes. It's a full-on experience, from helping you get your story out to then going into training, because in just a few months there's going to be a book in your hand, and it's going to be, now what do I do with this? And so, just like birthing a baby, we're going to teach it how to walk, how to run, how to have voice. So we do a lot of training, and we go through a bestseller campaign. So the cherry on top of this is you will be a best-selling author. And that's something that is like winning the gold medal in the Olympics. Once you're a gold medal Olympian, just like once you're a best-selling author, you're always a best-selling author. So that's just a little plus. And so you'll be asked to fill out an application. The next step is, we're going to talk about your story. And don't let any of if you're seeing the dollars amount scare you off. We will have that conversation. We'll discuss it, and how it can really work for you. Okay, so the most important part here is, we need your story. We want to help you share it.
Awesome. We will look for them and look forward to making you shine. Thank you so much, Gail.
Thank you, Laura.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.